Good morning, everyone. At this time, please rise for the presentation of colors. Please remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Colors. Present. Colors.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Colors. Carry. Colors. Ready. Cut.
Honor guard, post the colors.
Colors. Mark. Mark. Forward. March. Left. 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 Right. Left. 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 Right. Left.
Thank you. You can please be seated.
Good morning. My name is Elena Tomei, and I serve as the Assistant Commissioner of the Division of Women and Veteran Services for the New Jersey Department of Corrections. On behalf of the department, welcome. Today, we formally recognize partnerships that strengthen support for incarcerated individuals who are veterans and reflect our shared commitment to service, dignity, and successful reentry. We are honored to be joined by distinguished guests, agency partners, elected officials, and DOC staff. Thank you for your leadership, collaboration, and continued dedication to those who have served our country. It's now my privilege to introduce Acting Commissioner Victoria Kuhn.
Good morning again and welcome. It is truly my privilege to welcome you to today's ceremonial signing of the Memorandum of Understanding with the New Jersey Reentry Corporation and with Education and Health Centers of America as we establish essential partnerships to enhance services and community reentry efforts for the incarcerated veterans in the New Jersey Department of Corrections. All of you recognize today's signing reflects a shared commitment to supporting incarcerated veterans during their incarceration and, very importantly, beyond that point. Through the partnerships that we highlight today with NJRC and EHCA, incarcerated veterans will receive individualized case management and reentry planning. They will be connected to eligible VA benefits, medical and behavioral health care, substance use treatment, legal assistance, employment readiness, housing, and other critical resources. And what makes these partnerships so unique is that important work will not only take place behind the walls, but will continue as the veteran returns to his or her community, resulting in much needed community continuity of care and long-term stability. We also all know that being successful in this space requires meaningful collaboration with partners who share a common commitment. And there are so many to thank for this support, beginning with Senator Vitale. Sir, your support and commitment in this space and with this department and with our veterans in the state of New Jersey, you're a leader among leaders. And we have the ability to do what we do and take these next steps because of your support. And on behalf of the entire Department of Corrections, I want to thank you for that support. Acting Commissioner Salamino, I consider it a privilege to call you a colleague and friend. Thank you to you and your team for your commitment and your continued support. We have had these conversations before that when departments get the opportunity to work together, we no longer service in silos. We service as a community, and I appreciate you for that. A very sincere and hearty thank you to our intrepid partners at the New Jersey Reentry Corporation, Governor McGreevey, who I think hides behind trees at central office to track me down sometimes to make sure we're going to have these conversations, and Chair McGreevey, thank you. You help us in so many ways with reentry, and your support today with the Veterans Reentry Initiative really speaks to your commitment in this space, and thank you. And with Education and Health Centers of America, you have been longtime partners with this New Jersey Department of Corrections and our initiatives. What you do speaks to your commitment in this space and speaks to the overall mission of this department, that is public safety and assisting individuals one by one. And we appreciate all of you for your work. And last but not least, there are a lot of people to thank in the New Jersey Department of Corrections. I would like to thank and recognize Assistant Commissioner Helena Tomei and Director Leanne Scott, who is in the audience somewhere. When we approached you to build the Division of Women's Services, you said absolutely. When we recently reapproached you to build the Division of Women and Veteran Services, you said absolutely. And I know that you're geared and ready to take on the next steps. I also want to thank our NJDOC Military Liaison Committee and Sergeant Vargas. Thank you. Many probably do not know that within the Department of Corrections, we have a Military Liaison Committee that was stood up 4 years ago by Sergeant Vargas and a number of other veterans in the NJDOC to help support our staff. When they learned about this initiative, they very quickly approached me to say, we want to be a part of this as well. So Sergeant Vargas, to you and to the committee, it speaks volumes about how you are dedicated to veterans regardless of where they are housed. And I will end with, the mission of the Department of Corrections is to enhance public safety through successful rehabilitation. Supporting our veterans through meaningful reentry services does exactly that. It's not only about honoring service, it supports the individual. It supports their families. It reduces recidivism, and ultimately it enhances our public safety. And I can speak on behalf of the entire Department of Corrections. We are very excited to launch today. We are very excited for the partnership, and we are ready to get to work. So thank you all for joining us today.
Acting Commissioner Vincent Solomino is a United States Army veteran who brings extensive experience in military leadership, veteran services, and public administration. He has been a strong advocate for improving access, coordination, and accountability in services for New Jersey's veterans community. It is my pleasure to introduce Commissioner Solomino of the New Jersey Department of Veteran Affairs.
Good morning. Thank you for the kind introduction, and Commissioner Kuhn, thank you for the invitation to be here today as we lift up veteran service providers. We lift up the New Jersey Reentry Corporation. We lift up EHCA. We lift up the veterans who are working each day as corrections officers in our facilities up and down New Jersey. And I think we ought to lift up our Garden State's shared commitment to ensuring that what we do for our veterans does not end at the courthouse steps, but instead we remember that day in the veteran's life when he or she was the best version of themselves, when they lifted their right hand, raised their right hand, and swore an oath to protect and defend the Constitution of the United States, when they said solemnly that they would sign up, send me, in the words of Scripture. And so when I think about our commitment, it does not end when someone is incarcerated. Rather, that commitment endures and it extends. And today, I'm pleased to be here as we are within weeks of having established the first Department of Veterans Affairs here in the state of New Jersey. I'm here because today's partnership reflects, as Governor Sherrill likes to raise frequently, our duty and obligation to work together to do better for the people of New Jersey. And today, I'm proud to say that our state is investing more, doing more, and achieving more for our veterans than at any time in our history. I thank our partners. I thank Senator Vitale, notably our partners in the legislature who make that statement possible. And I close with a little bit of a hero of mine, to paraphrase Hubert Humphrey. The true test of government is how we treat those in the dawn of life, those in the twilight of life, and today, most importantly, those in the shadows of life. So thank you, Commissioner Kuhn and your team, for helping us as we work to bring folks out of the shadows and back to where they belong. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Senator Joseph Vitale has represented New Jersey's 19th legislative district since 1998. He's widely recognized for his leadership on health, human services, and public policy issues, and for his long-standing advocacy on behalf of vulnerable populations, including justice-involved individuals and veterans. It's my honor to welcome to the podium Senator Vitale.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. It's been a great day. And Commissioner Kuhn and Commissioner Solomino, see these acting titles and just your commissioners. You're going to be commissioners for a long, long time. I'm really grateful for your service. Vince, you and I have worked really closely together over the past several months along these lines, working with NJRC, with EHCA, and I finally learned what the acronym stood for and able to repeat it on a regular basis. Education Health Centers of America. Larry, you guys are great. And your participation, your willingness to work together to serve our veterans who are incarcerated is extraordinary. And working with Governor McGreevey and Sharon, their longstanding advocacy and their success in helping our veterans improve their lives and find a place and a purpose in their life has been extraordinary as well. When my father came out of World War II, and he had the GI Bill, he had an 8th grade education. He was a Depression kid. So he had 6 brothers and 2 sisters. and lived in Newark, went into the war, World War II, joined the service with his brothers. And when he came out, thankfully he had some talent, but he also had the support of his government to be able to buy a home for $6,000 in Woodbridge, to be able to make a way in his life for himself and for his family and for us. Sort of put that against the challenges of veterans who are incarcerated, who have a very difficult time before they even came into the system, whether suffering from drug abuse or alcohol abuse or PTSD or any other number of mental health issues that they suffer from, and then find themselves in the prison system, and really with no way out, with no real hope or future for themselves. And then along comes the Department of Corrections and our veterans community and NJRC and EHCA, working with them to help them build self-confidence, help them build a place and in their lives where they can be successful once they come out. And we know what the process looks like, and we know what the success stories have been, but there are literally hundreds, if not thousands more that we have to care about, not just while they're in and having those interactions and that planning for their lives after the wall, but also what their lives look like going forward in terms of education, housing, mental health services, other services that are available to veterans that they're entitled to. They served our country, found themselves in a bad place, but now we're here to help them find a way out and a purpose for themselves in the future. So I couldn't be any more pleased to be part of this, just like one cog in the wheel. Privileged to be able to sponsor the bill that created the Department of Veterans Affairs, so that Vince and his team, along with the governor, her commitment to veterans, can be able to really move the ball forward in a meaningful way, more than we ever have before. So I'm, again, pleased to be here. Thank you, Commissioner, for the invitation. Governor McGreevey and Vince, thank you for your service to our country, to our state. I look forward to working with you in the future going forward. Thank you all. Have a great day.
Thank you, Senator Vitale. We're grateful to you for your continued support and partnership. Next, I'm pleased to introduce Sergeant Ruben Vargas of the New Jersey Department of Corrections. He is representing the DOC Military Service Liaison Committee. That is an internal employee resource group that supports DOC staff who are veterans, active duty service members, and military family members. Please join me in welcoming Sergeant Vargas.
Good morning. I'd like to thank Commissioner Kuhn, Assistant Commissioner Tomey, and Director Scott. Thank you very much. My name is Ruben Vargas. I'm Sergeant of the Department of Corrections for 20 years. I'm also an Army veteran. I served stateside after 9/11 and also in Guantanamo Bay, Cuba. Actually, under you in the National Guard back in 2004, back when you were governor. And right after our fourth event downtown for the Military Service Liaison Committee, this announcement came up. But before I talk about that, I want to talk about the committee. We have about 10 members spread across all the jails, downtown, and even the academy. And what we do is we help all the veterans across the department, whether it's benefits, personal issues. We go around the jails and we tour, we set up a table and we talk to them. Sometimes all they want is somebody to talk to, and it helps them out. And I learn stuff from them. Like, I'd be like, wow, this person went through the same thing I went through, and we build a bond and we help each other out. And to this day, the committee is 4 years old, and I still keep in contact with everybody across the jail that I've met. And we have all the members, and they have their connections. And each member has a different skill set that they bring to the committee, that they help the officers of this department. So after event, notice came out about this new office. And I read it, and I saw it fell under Women's Services. And then I saw it was Assistant Commissioner Tomey and Director Scott. And all I knew about them was that they helped turn around Edna Mahan. Edna Mahan, I'll talk about it. Some stuff went down 5 years ago. Left a black eye in the department, a black cloud. The culture was bad. The officers didn't want to work there. The incarcerated persons over there didn't feel safe. And them two turned that around. 5 years later, I talked to people that 5 years ago would tell me, I don't want to go there. that tell me, hey, I loved working there, had a great experience. All the programs they brought to that jail. What they did, they worked magic. And when I saw that, I reached out myself to the commissioner and I said, hey, we want to help. Let me know what I can do. And she set me up with Assistant Commissioner Tomei, and not even within a week, they met with me right here at like, what, 8:30 in the morning? That's how serious, that to me was like, wow, they mean business. And we sat down for 40 minutes, and we talked about the direction of what this office, what's it want to do? And I said, we said the biggest issue is we're dealing with a special type of incarcerated person. We're dealing with somebody that at one point serves our country. They had pride, they cared. And what happened was once they got out, they lost their way. Hey, listen, nobody's perfect, we all make mistakes. And they made mistakes. And they wound up behind bars. And that's double negative right there. Not only, they're like, well, I'm locked up, and at one point I served my country. So they have emotions where they feel that I'll let my country down, or the country let them down. And that's where I think this office can really bloom and help them out. And we're going to show them, like, listen, yes, you made mistakes. We're here to pick you back up. We want to bring them back to that time where they served. And I told the Commissioner Tomei, something I learned 20 years in this department and being trained in the military. Under stressful situations, we always revert back to our training. And if we can get these incarcerated persons back into that mentality where they have structure, they're doing something positive, we could slowly reconnect them back to society so they come out better than the way they came in. They could call their family and be like, hey, listen, I know we haven't talked in years, but I'm in this new program and I'm getting all the benefits I deserve. I'm getting this. I even, here's an example. You can have an incarcerated person who hasn't talked to their daughter in years. There's a disconnect from there. And obviously he can't use his GI Bill to pay for school because he's locked up, but he could pass it on to her. He could call her like, hey, listen, I got something for you. I'm going to transfer my GI Bill so you can get your education. And that right there, this office is going to build a bond with these incarcerated persons and their family. And we're going to get them to get their pride back, to get their honor back, to get their dignity. And again, I am honored to be helping out with this. And
But on the third way, I'd just like to recognize the folks in the audience and thank them for their leadership. Again, I want to thank Helena Tomei. I want to say thank you to the Assistant Commissioner, and thank you for everything that she's done with us, working with the women of Edna Mahan. I'm most grateful. I'd also like to, in a special way, thank Commissioner Kuhn. We would not be here today but for the Commissioner. And what's special in my life is that the Commissioner understands the importance of having a hardened pipeline between DOC, the release of prisoners, and services into the community. So Commissioner, thank you for all that you do every day for every person released, particularly women, and today, particularly our veterans. I also want to say thank you to Commissioner Solomino. I'm looking forward to a vibrant department and partnership, and I'm really excited. To my dear friend, Senator Vitale. You know, my dad worked, and Sharon worked for Senator Vitale and Craig Coughlin and Yvonne. And I just want to say thank you to Joe for being so much a part of the new department and for bringing us here today. And I also want to say thank you to Speaker Coughlin, who has been a prime supporter of reentry services in the state legislature with Joe, with Yvonne. So I'm really indebted to the service of those leaders in the 19th district. Thank you, Senator. To Ruben, and in a special way, to Helen and to Dr. I don't know how you both put up with Larry, but there's a special place in heaven for you. But in a serious way, to my friend Larry, thank you for our partners at EHCA for making this a reality today. You know, when I think about what's important, I think back over the past 20 years, and you realize the reality of veterans in the state of New Jersey. And they reflect the demographics traditionally of what's happening nationally. Approximately 1 out of every 3 veterans today are court involved, among the highest rates of mental illness, suicide, and homelessness. And so what we do here today is particularly important because we're connecting veterans to hardened silos, to services that work. And so again, I want to thank in a special way Governor Murphy for his past leadership. I want to say thank you also to Governor Christie for his work with NJRC in connecting our veterans to mental health services. And thank you to Governor Sherrill for her commitment to veterans. It's so meaningful to have a governor who's a veteran, which is critically important to have this commitment. And again, on behalf of the NJRC, we're not going to quit, no exceptions. Every veteran is served, and we are committed to serve all of our veterans. And with that, it's my great honor to introduce the person who does all of the hard work with a tremendous team, Sharon McGreevey. Put this microphone so it doesn't slide.
Good morning. Commissioner Kuhn, Assistant Commissioner Tomei, Director Scott, Senator Vitale, Governor McGreevey, Commissioner Solomino, our partners at EHCA, members of my team, colleagues, friends, and partners. I am deeply grateful to stand with you today. Senator Vitale, when veterans were in their greatest need, they came to you and you stood by them. You protected veterans who are most vulnerable, and your courage will forever be a testament to your good work. And your steadfast commitment to those who serve continues. I also want to express my sincere gratitude to Commissioner Kuhn and the complete Department of Corrections, Assistant Commissioner Tomei, Director Scott. Your devotion and commitment do more than make this work possible. You encourage and ignite the spirit of service and dedication in all of us. Your leadership affirms that responsibility and compassion can move forward together. And to my brother James, thank you for your leadership and for holding fast to the belief that people are more than the hardest chapter of their lives. Your tireless work to provide wraparound services for New Jersey Reentry clients and veterans has changed the trajectory of tens of thousands of lives, bringing hope, direction, and care where it was once absent. And I want to acknowledge EHCA, and Helen in particular. You bring steadiness and deep compassion to reentry work. You lead with integrity, and you meet people where they are, and you never lose sight of the human being behind the work. It is an honor to work with you, and I can't wait to work even closer. When we are entrusted with access and partnership, we are called to give more care, more effort, more presence. Responsibility follows blessing. What we give here will shape what grows from this work. This moment is particularly meaningful to me on a personal level. I grew up just a mile away from East Jersey State Prison. We called it Broadway Prison at the time. As a child, it was simply a part of my landscape, solid, imposing, and ever-present. Even then, I had hoped and imagined that one day I would walk through the doors, not with fear, but with hope to serve. And that day has come, so thank you so much. To be given the opportunity to go inside into a place where so many lives are paused, strained, and waiting is something I do not take lightly. It is an honor, and I do so with responsibility. Our commitment is clear. We're here to work deliberately and consistently to provide veterans with the services they need as they prepare to take their next steps forward. That means helping them take inventory of both their needs and their strengths. Employment pathways, stable housing, VA services, counseling, practical support, and the steady presence of people who will walk alongside them as they transition towards stability and purpose. This work is not abstract. It is grounded, it is practical, and it is rooted in dignity. Our mission to serve veterans, for me, is also a vocation. I come from a family shaped by service and sacrifice. Our uncle, James McGreevey, whom my brother is named after, was killed on Iwo Jima and was posthumously awarded the Navy Cross and Purple Heart. Like so many families in New Jersey and our country, ours paid the cost of war, not in theory, but in flesh and blood, in absence, and in grief that echoes across the generations. Our father, Jack McGreevey, was a drill instructor in the United States Marine Corps. Service, discipline, and responsibility were not abstract values in our home. They were lived, taught, and expected. The cost of war does not end when the uniform comes off. It often appears years later in trauma, in disconnection, in homelessness, and sometimes in incarceration. We are meeting individuals whose needs were shaped by service and whose struggles deserve understanding, accountability, and opportunity. That is why this partnership matters so deeply. To my team, Tahia Robinson, Kristen Rendini, and Erica Sabarini, take this journey with me. Your courage, your steadiness, and your hearts mean so much. The work is not easy, but is meaningful, and it restores dignity where too often has been lost. Today, above all, I thank the Commissioner. I am grateful for you, for your trust, and for the partnership, and grateful for the opportunity to serve those who have once served us. We are deeply grateful, and we are ready to do the work. Thank you.
Thank you, Sharon, Governor. So our final speakers represent Education and Health Centers of America, EHCA. They are a longstanding provider of assessment, of treatment, and reentry services, both within the correctional setting and in the community. Oh, I lost track because I already knew I didn't have to look at my words, you see. And EHCA's veteran programming focuses on individualized planning, service coordination, and continuity of care. Please join me in welcoming Steve Johnson, CEO of EHCA, and Helen Adams, Supervisor of their Veteran Services Program.
Good morning, Commissioner Kuhn, Commissioner Salamino, Senator Vitale, Assistant Commissioner Tomei, Governor McGreevey, honored guests and staff. As the EHCA CEO and President, some thank yous are in order. I would like to thank Commissioner Kuhn for her commitment to incarcerated veterans, the initiative throughout her years as Commissioner. I'd like to thank Assistant Commissioner Tomei for fostering the process of taking care of incarcerated veterans. Thank you to Senator Vitale for his tireless efforts to establish a cabinet-level Department of Veteran Services. I would also like to thank Commissioner Salamino for providing the funding to EHCA for the Veterans Resource Program that allows us to continue to serve incarcerated veterans. And Commissioner Salamino, I think the best way I've ever heard it said is looking at an incarcerated veteran when they were the best version of themselves. I think that is really a fantastic thought. As you know, EHCA has provided reentry services to the New Jersey Department of Corrections and the Parole Board for 25 years. Our work with those agencies in assisting veterans has been the most rewarding experience for me and for all EHCA staff. What's different about our incarcerated veterans caseworkers, Helen, Jim, and Cynthia, is their follow-up work with incarcerated veterans. Vets are still calling them 1 or 2 years later just to check in. I've known the leader of the Veterans Resource Program for 16 years. In fact, I recommended her for this position 8 years ago, and since she started, she has worked tirelessly with incarcerated veterans, preparing them to reenter the community. Helen goes to incredible lengths to help veterans. It's more than just financial and housing services. She often takes them shopping for clothes, food, furniture, and arranges transportation. I can tell you there are countless phone calls and visits to landlords looking for housing for her clients. She started her career with the Department of Corrections as a social worker and eventually became an administrator. She served the New Jersey Department of Corrections for 32 years with distinction. In so many people's lives, it's a tough decision to pick a profession. I suspect the social work profession chose Helen, and I believe the world is a better place because of it. It is my pleasure to introduce to you the supervisor of the EHCA Veterans Resource Program, Ms. Helen Adams.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson, for that wonderful introduction. I don't know what he's talking about, 32 years in the Department of Corrections and 7 years with EHCA. I started when I was 10, just be clear about that. So I want to say good morning to all. To Commissioner Kuhn, who I've known for a number of years, I want to say thank you, a sincere thank you for your unwavering commitment to incarcerated veterans, to veterans all over. Just the fact that you appointed Assistant Commissioner Tomei to run the Veteran Service Program, and she's been wonderful. We met with her, she was welcoming, and she's definitely committed to servicing the veterans in the Department of Corrections and as a whole too. So I just want to say thank you, we appreciate you. Director Cook, I would have to say something to her. I worked with her for a number of years. And Mr. Johnson kind of hit the mark. I'm really a social worker at heart, right? The administrator job was great, it was perfect, but I feel like I'm back where I belong, and that's social work. And I worked with Director Scott for so long. I knew where it's called, so Scott. So I'm looking forward to working with both Assistant Commissioner Tomei and Director Scott for the long haul. And to Commissioner Salamino, I want to say thank you for the funding that allows us to do what it is we do. Without you, a lot of this wouldn't be possible for us at the EHCA, so we just want to say thank you. And I also had already kind of pulled you to the side to make sure that you tell Esther that I'm so grateful. She's my grant administrator that I work with, and she's so supportive and just always available and just a great leader. So. And then to Governor McGreevey and the reentry, Sharon kind of stole a little bit from me. I've had the opportunity to work with Sharon a couple of times now where we service some veterans in the community. And I don't know if you remember this, Sharon, but a couple months ago we were talking, we had assisted a veteran and we were talking and you said, you know, Helen, we're the boots on the ground. And we are the boots on the ground. So I definitely agree with you. And with that being said, I'd like to introduce my boots on the ground team. And that's Jim McGovern, who's been with EHCA since the inception of the back then Incarcerated Veterans Initiative. Cynthia Bradley, she's new with the just kind of joining us. And Shanae Marshall, she's the case manager for the Veterans Resource Program as well. So I just want to say, without your commitment and dedication, none of this would be possible. You are the heart of the mission, and I am truly grateful for each one of you. And I thank you. And I might not always say it, but I just want you to know I really appreciate what you do. When we speak about veterans, we usually do with pride, right? We talk about veterans, we're very prideful. And for that pride to be genuine, we have to include all veterans. Veterans who've lost their way, substance abuse, mental health issues, or just got lost after service. So I am proud to say, since the inception of the IVI and now the Veterans Resource Program, we have serviced over 700 incarcerated veterans in the New Jersey Department of Corrections, residential release programs, and in the community. We continue to follow them in the community. A lot of them, we've become their pseudo family. They call us for everything, just to tell us something good, tell us something bad, just to kind of follow up. We provide a host of services, so we're looking forward to working even more closely with the reentry to continue providing, getting military documents, connecting them with the right services, connecting them with the VA. Oftentimes we go into the prisons and we meet with the veterans and they'll say, well, I don't think I'm a veteran because I have a general discharge, so I'm probably not eligible for anything. Are you registered with the VA? No. Why would I do that? So it's interesting because this job has taught me a lot. I was raised by a Marine Korean conflict person, and we were ran like, get up, get dressed, make your bed. And so that's as far as my veteran. My father was a very proud veteran. And actually on Friday nights, he would put his uniform on and it looked like this, his jacket, and he'd tell us like war stories. So that was my extent of veteran knowledge. But now I feel like I've learned a lot, and I really feel like I can help veterans. We can help veterans. And if we do it together, I'm sure that we'll do a great job. I believe the tree shape the future tomorrow. We at EHCA not for our work of gratitude, but for our actions and services to ensure everyone has the opportunity to rebuild, heal, and thrive beyond incarceration. I just want to take one more minute. One of my veterans was going to come with me today, but he's an older gentleman and he had some difficulties getting out. But what I did do is I'd like to take a minute to read a letter I received dated 1/6/2026 from a veteran we met in Southwoods. It powerfully puts into words just how important the work we do truly is. So this is the letter, and I just want to take a minute to read it. Dear Ms. Adams, I wanted to write a quick note to express my deep gratitude and appreciation for all your assistance you and your organization have provided for me. As a U.S. Army veteran who is incarcerated, your help with connecting with VA benefits and applying to a housing program, as well as with your very kind words and support, have been so helpful and needed. I want you to know that without your assistance, I would be lost and confused as attempting to navigate reintegration and reentry after prison is especially challenging. I am grateful for the time you took to come to the prison and to patiently explain my option with the VA and other benefits. Again, thank you for all your help. I wish there are more resources like your organization. I remain eternally grateful. So I want to close with just saying thank you for giving us the opportunity to do what it is we do. Partnerships are so important, so we look forward to continue working with reentry. Thank you, Commissioner.
I think that there's no question that we have organizations who are the best people for this that they're providing. Their commitment and their passion is genuine. We can that was made here. So thank you. So now let's move on to the formal signing of. I will invite our signatories to please come and join us at the table where we will sign our memorandums.
It's a dangerous place.
Good work.
Thank you so much. This was such an important step in partnership and connecting with our partners to help serve this very important population. We look forward to working together. Now, the program has concluded. Please feel free to join us for some refreshments in the back, and thank you all for coming.